Pausanias, however, continued to dress in Persian style. Even in Sparta, after a few months, he independently hired a trireme and returned to Hellespont, telling his compatriots he was going to continue the fight against Persian. Actually, however, he had different plans to make himself ruler of the Greece with the aid of Xerxes himself. The Spartan declared him a public enemy and sent a ship to capture him. Pausanias surrendered, certain that he could clear himself of the charges of treason. He did come out during the trial that during his reign as a commander he had offended his fellow Greeks time and again, erecting monuments for instead he in his own name rather than in those of cities whose troops had fought alongside him, as was custom. Yet Persian proved right. Despite the evidence of his numerous contacts with enemy, the Spartans refused to imprison a man of such noble birth and let him go. Now thinking himself untouchable, Pausanias hired a messenger to take a letter of Xerxes. But the messenger instead took the letter to the Spartan authorities. These men wanted to find out more, so they had messengers arranged to meet Pausanias in a temple where they could hide and listen behind a partition. What Pausanias said shocked them. They had never heard such contempt for their ways spoken so brazenly by one of their own, and they made arrangements for his immediate arrest. On his way from home to temple, Pausanias got word of what had happened. He ran to another temple to hide, but the authorities followed him and that placed sentries all around. Pausanias refused to surrender, unwilling to forcibly remove him from the sacred temple. The authorities kept him trapped inside until he eventually died of starvation. Interpretation. At first glance, it might seem the Pausanias simply fell in love with another culture, a phenomena as old as time. Never comfortable with the asceticism of Sparta, he found himself enthralled by the Persian love of luxury and sensual pleasure. He put on Persian robes and perfumes with a sense of deliverance of Greek discipline and simplicity. This is how it appeared when people adopt a culture in which they were not raised. Often, however, there is also something else at play. People who flaunt their infatuation with a different culture are expressing a disdain and contempt for their own. They are using the outward appearance of the exotic to separate themselves from the common folk whose uniqueness follow the local custom and laws.